Okay, it looks like we're back up and running. Welcome back, everybody. We continue on in H-Town D-Man Games. Continuing with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Everything looks like it's running smooth up there. Okay, so what we need to do is, if I remember right, we still got to go talk to Nocticula, which I think is going to pretty much close out this chapter. We're going to bring Ember with us, see if she can do her talking magic to these demons. But first, let's go in here and get some rest, because I don't think everybody's. If I remember right, we ended the last stream before resting. So, yeah, okay. In your place, I would pray more fervently than anyone, but how else could you atone for your crimes? Talking to, yeah, okay. Pray regularly to Nuggleboy. It's true to me. True that he looks favorable upon me and helps me kill another couple of people. Yeah, it just all depends on which god you're looking towards, huh? Alright, so we are all rested. So, yeah, let's keep the same group and let's go talk to Nocticula. See where this ends us up today. Okay, before we press too far,
I'm here. Where else would I be?
let's get you situated. Okay, yeah, false light. A little bit of blur on yourself. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Mirror image on yourself.
You're a good person. I like you.
I'm glad you do, baby girl. I'm glad you do.
A bright future awaits us.
What's this one? Okay, now let's give her magic weapon greater. Primary hand. Let's give you your bark skin.
The goddess protects us.
Do you have something for armor too? We can use that for now. Yeah.
I am never wrong.
Oh no.
No reason to pause.
Need to jump up on. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, she is on him. Keep those alphabets going around in circles like a maniac. All right. Let's bring everybody on up now. Okay, let's double check because it
My will is resolute.
wasn't I given Bismuth some kind of advantage on his or some help on his armor? Thought I had. Here we go. There we go. And then
I'm
you can
always
do
ready.
goodwill for all of us.
Laborare sende.
A good hope on me. All right. Let's head on in and see. Hopefully we didn't need all this buffing, but oh, it's 12:35.
Ha! A trivial task.
The ink on the pages is still wet. The book tells of the murderous massacre committed by the Lady in Shadow among the collector's demons in the midnight hours. It seems it happened quite recently. It's this one over here. The tall shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls praising the Lady in Shadow. Many deeds. Some tomes are old and threadbare. Others are new and in mint condition. Okay. Here's another knowledge scroll.
Ugh, what a failure.
What did... dang it. Okay. Until establish a good library enough palace wider, and he shall need this many books is a mystery. Lady Shadow, the Queen, Minor House, Lady and the Demon Lord. Darkness and Lust. Okay. There's another one over here. I keep pausing because I don't want to end up wasting our buffs. Minutes, 10 minutes, yeah, so. Some shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls praising the Lady in Shadow's many deeds. Some tombs are older. Okay, yeah, same as we seen on the other side. Okay, let's check out these side ones before
We do it my way.
Okay. Okay.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Okay.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Okay.
This is my kind of work.
Getting all kinds of goodies. I think that was everything in here, right? Okay. Let's check this other side real quick.
I found, something.
Pile of sketches and drawings depict the fragments of various rituals that led to the opening of the rifts and portals. The letter in small handwriting. May glory be showered on your head. Your interest in the creation of demi-planes is understandable. Any individual who has reached a certain level of power seeks for themselves a safe haven, a peaceful place for study and rest. That is why I place my high hopes in your prudence. Remember that any demi-plane is but a shard of one of the true planes that typically remains under the watchful eye of the powers that be. As such, I do hope that you haven't incurred the wrath of any of the powers that hold sway over the fringes you subjected. As for stabilization, alas, there isn't much you can do once the fragmentation and the consolidation has been completed. Nonetheless, I have no doubt that you've given enough consideration to such important matters and ensured that your creation will be safe for you and your servants. Unless, of course, you're preparing an elaborate trap. Your fellow colleague, Roderick Quad. Okay. Books written in multiple languages and titles that can be translated are dedicated to research into the nature of souls. Pieces of sketches to draw and depict fragments of various rituals that lead to the opening of rifts and portals. Oh, this unfinished draft of a letter. Greetings, colleagues. I thank you for the selection of materials that arrived along with your last letter. Unfortunately, I'm unable to procure even the simplest specialized studies at present, as Galorian's libraries are out of my reach. Oddly enough, it's currently easier for me to receive the necessary articles by contacting a like-minded individual from a different plane of reality. In our last letter, we went over the matter of resurrecting those who steeped into the murky waters of the River of Souls. Evidence shows that those who have appeared before Pharasma's judgment and learned of their fate in the afterlife do not answer calls from the world of the living. They cannot be revived by any means. But is that really true? Do you think it would be possible to revive such a person, at least in theory? On another topic, there are known cases of accession, excuse me, or acquiring divine form through powers that no one to this day has taken the time to study thoroughly. There are a plethora of examples in Galarian's history, such as Aradin, who led humankind to civilization, and Yomade, who followed her former mentor into the godly host. As I ponder these cases, I can't help but wonder, could this process be controlled? Could one create the right conditions, choose the right level of material, and bring into being a creature of divine power? I'm certain that you have encountered similar phenomena in your practice and would like to discuss this matter further. Perhaps you are still in possession of notes or drafts that could shed light. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we get that. Midnight Vault, okay.
I'm off.
Projector. As you know, my dear Dressy, given the scope of the planes, time is a relative concept, and in the abyss, it can be even more unreliable. Therefore, I do not allow myself the vain hope that my message will reach you in time. From a mysterious stranger. Okay. There's more. Lexicon of Paradox Part 2. This was bad, but we'll go ahead and read this one too. Key to the last threshold, many mortal researchers have ventured to turn their scientific curiosity on the phenomenon that is the world room, noting that it appears to have a life of its own. Strange natural phenomenon spontaneously arise ruptures, unique vegetation, and living creatures found neither on Galarian nor in the abyss. Everything is constantly in flux, appearing and disappearing at unpredictable intervals. Though this movement and alteration, if not through its order, one can detect the logical functioning of the organs of a living being. The truth is that indeed the world wound possesses a semblance of life, and its very structure presupposes a connection to a living soul. This line of reasoning sometimes leads me to unscientific implications. Namely, if the creation is in essence a reflection of the Creator, then can we say that the world wound is a reflection of my soul? Okay. Um, yeah. The world wound was created and then improved, and at the same time, a being of duality was cobbled together from the essence of the abyss and the essence of a mortal soul. Normally, this process requires an essence taken from a creature with strength comparable to that of an emperor or abyssal lord. But there are ways to circumvent this requirement. In particular, though, the use of the Nahandrian crystals were a power. In this section, I refer to this being as the key, an instrument that allowed me to significantly expand and strengthen my original creation. Due to his dual nature and connection to the world, the key was given the opportunity to obtain amazing powers. However, everything has a price. The whirlpool is linked to the key, but the key is also linked to the whirlpool. He carries it in his soul, likely a deadly affliction. This affliction is indeed fatal. The duality of the soul grants amazing powers and primes the soul's owner for transformation and for the bestowing of incredible abilities. But this duality is also slowly killing the soul's owner. This is a problem I have yet to solve. Oh, okay. The letters written by the hand of Aurelio Volish appears to have, I thought it was her, have a life of their own. A moment's inattention and they begin to disperse, changing shapes and moving toward the edge of the page as though they are planning to leap off. Focus on the text. Younglin's attention focused on a couple of words that seem to have only just swapped places. The words freeze as though they never moved at all, but out of the corner of his eye, the man sees several words on the other side of the page begin to a discreet game of leapfrog. Set aside Okay, that was interesting. So I kind of want to. Okay. And the mysterious stranger keeps talking. Both the wonder and the tragedy of mortality lie in the fact that there is a certain moment after which the process is final and irreversible. The essence that departs to the judgment of the Lady of Grace is no longer what it was in life, and we, as scientists, must account for this in the system of knowledge we are constructing. Okay.
I do what I must. I'm
Looks like
gone.
there's anything else around here right now. Is that all he has to say? Or is he going to say anything else?
We do it my way.
Okay. Completed.
Follow if you dare.
Greetings.
What is she doing here? I thought we were talking to Nocticula. Fancy seeing you here. I have a lot of questions for you.
You are looking for answers. That's good. That is why I am here. I have much to tell you.
I was starting to wonder why her book was in the Nocticula's thing, but okay.
You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers, at least some of them.
The ruler lifts her mirror, and you fall into its cold, shimmering depths. What? Oh, okay.
Day 16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nahindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, the essence will coalesce with the subject's soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action.
Okay. So she
You are my
implanted it.
creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Yeah, let's say I believe you. Why did you need to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
Okay. The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears. Yeah.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory. and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands.
Okay.
But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Kenabris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
Okay. As if to confirm her words, blood begins to seep from the wound on your chest. Airy flames seem to dance within the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Kenabris.
Okay, what's the deal?
Hey, are we doomed to? The chief shared his power with us, so does that mean we're cursed as well? How long do we have left? Say it ain't so. I'm too young to die so tragically.
Not much of a threat. Look at me. Before you know it, I'll be a decrepit heap of flesh just like so. But I still manage to keep living somehow.
Yeah, let's get more info before we figure out what we're gonna do with this essence.
Very well, then. Ask your questions and I will answer.
Let's start from the top. I have a feeling we won't be able to make it all the way through the questions, but what is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound, in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed.
Okay.
No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
Tell me about the Nahindrian crystals. Start from the beginning.
Nahindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discare's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Kenabris. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nihindrian crystals. Although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
You followed me.
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. I am pleased to see that you still wear them. I enchanted them specially to protect you from danger. I am glad you found my gift useful. Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabras.
Okay.
In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
Yeah, we're doing chaotic, so let's keep on the chaotic path. In that case, thank you for your help. You should help me out more often.
Certainly, but do not expect me to solve all your problems. A child that is forever carried in its mother's arms will never learn to walk.
Why was that whole ploy with the lab necessary? You were ready to sacrifice your servant to search you for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Speaking of the Suture, he is currently being held captive by Hepsamira. I saw her by him in the flesh market.
I don't understand why you felt the need to tell me that.
It would be better if you just told me everything instead of playing my game.
Knowledge gained independently through research and experimentation is far more valuable than knowledge that is simply given. That is why I wanted you to go to the laboratory yourself. I just gave you a nudge in the right direction.
So you figured out how to use the crystals to embed living creatures with power.
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
What have you done to my soul then?
Your soul? I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Dascari's attack on Canabras? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive.
Good and bad fight within me. Okay.
Oh, those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
Yeah, we'll go with this one first. My power is different from that of Jerabit. Nicolette, and the other demons?
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water, but it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen.
It's strange to see you here in Nocticula's palace. Who do you really serve? Discari? Baphomet?
Both. And neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
Okay.
You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
What I want to know is this. What do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
Sure. We'll take her power. Touch the essence. I will not refuse this power, but I will decide how to use it. Yeah, she's already said that we've been transforming this power to our own end. Touch the essence and the power is so familiar and clear, flows through you like a river. The power that courses through you is so immense, the wound on your chest closes up as if it had never existed.
Now you know. You truly know.
Okay.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. Away! Away from this festering hole! I must bring this terrible truth to Queen Galfrey, and save those who can be saved from this darkness!
He didn't like that.
I want to help you
Figures.
close the world wound.
Ruler's words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on the throne that was empty just a moment ago is none other than Nocticula, ruler of Elishanera and the Midnight House, a powerful demon lord in the one they call Our Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into a conic smile, and her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Aureliu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part.
We're gonna do one of the chaotic ones in the bottom in a second, but
You are a guest here, mortal. A guest of the Lady in Shadow, the vanquisher of many a demon lord. I am the only one here who is entitled to demand answers. You may ask your questions when I allow you to do so. For now, remember your manners and greet me properly.
You been sitting on your throne and listening to us this whole time?
Naturally. I am in the habit of observing my servants and guests while remaining unseen. Their private thoughts fly most eagerly from their lips when they believe themselves to be unwatched. And secrets exchanged in whispers are often invaluable.
Okay, let's do our chaotic charming event. You are truly resplendent, Lady in Shadow. It will bring me great happiness to get to know you.
I see that rumors of your passionate nature weren't exaggerated. I have heard some rather impressive tales of your escapades.
What escapades?
I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alishanira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nahindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
Okay.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
You were able to see the hand of the inheritor despite all his enchantments?
The herald of that upstart goddess. Here.
Yes, although his defenses were quite intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the Echo of Discari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
The hand of the inheritor told me his magic deceived the eyes of all evil spawn of the abyss. But not yours?
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who were more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
She was probably previously an angel. Tell me about the Echo of Discard.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the world wound was opened, Discari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Eridan, protector of humankind. Eridan gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Eridan. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Eridan, especially his inheritor, Iomedae. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Iomedae's pet pug, if she had one.
Why does the Echo of Discard prey upon the hand of the inheritor?
Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echoes suffered more than one defeat. First at Eridan's hand, Then, under the onslaught of the forces of heaven, those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Iomade himself is in the abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels.
Okay, I see.
He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomade, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not?
So he's gained assertion.
Of course, not all your actions in my realm have been commendable. By destroying the flesh markets, you've harmed my city and impoverished my realm.
I would never accept something as vile as a slave trade.
You've just arrived in my realm, and you're already trying to dictate your own rules? As I recall, when demons attempted something similar on Galarian, armies were raised, and mortals fought to the death to stop it. I can scarcely believe it myself, but I will be gracious and show you mercy. I am a hospitable ruler.
The conversation is interrupted by a concerning-looking succubus who silently approaches Nocticula and then begins fervently whispering into her ear. Nocticula's expression turns hard and cold. As Nocticula ponders the new development, the messenger makes eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you last saw them, the owner bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. The succubus smiles slyly and gives you a wink.
Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters and tell them to prepare.
That green-eyed succubus, I know her.
Yes, you've already met Laulia, my talented assistant. I've heard she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the mines of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moments in the Abyss. And even a little earlier.
Okay.
I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
My companion, Ember, would like to speak with you.
Ember? So that's her then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
Tears are rolling down Ember's cheeks as she sniffles noise and presses her maimed hands against her heart as she stares up at Nocticula. Her fragile form shudders from weeping. Marilla wrinkles her nose in disdain. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is Elashinara, not Narasini. We don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
You should hear out.
In my realm, I decide to whom I should listen and whom I should hang. Be quiet. You wanted me to hear the girl out? Then let her babble on until I tire of her.
Yeah, okay.
So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
Now, I don't want to call up people's mind. We're not going to do chaotic this time. We're doing good this time. I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it will benefit you to listen to her as well.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Save me? From what exactly?
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Okay.
Oh, the Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Probably.
That would be great.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
Did Arula really create me? She has certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Volish designed the world wound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To seal it, we required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your powers and that wound on your chest were the result of her experiments. When she infused your soul with the essence of the abyss, of course, you remember none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted to you was purified to the extent that it was possible. It was purified to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of the Nihindra creatures. These energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that's happened to you was part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything had its price, says Arula quickly. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we could fling into the flames of the world wound and close it like any lesser realm. I think you should know that. Okay. I think Mitchell said just cut and rule up. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself. Then you can share all the details. What exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you the chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. What's more, I have never schemed against Galarian, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane, at least not at my behest. There is no cause for enmity between us. Why would you want to close the wound? When the world wound opened, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it into a crossroads of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The moon was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas, but the Midnight Elves were not the only realm that had been linked to Galarian through the moon. Discari and Baphomet now also had a way from their realms into your plane. Their servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and enslave, whether on Galarian or in another abysmal realm. I was forced to shift my focus and express my discontent. Eventually, atop the bones of our servants, we reached an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my islands. Of course, the accord is a polite fiction. Both the Discarites and the Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence in the Alishnera to overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and rebel in their own impotence. Worst of all, Lady Volesh told them about the Nihindra crystals. They realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they are determined to mine every last deposit hidden within my islands. And once the islands loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but floats, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishiyar. With every lost island, my power is diminished. I can start a war and kill the plunderers, but a major conflict would hinder some of my other planes. So instead, I would teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating that ignominious defeat at the hands of a mortal. What do I gain by serving you? A reasonable question. One must always serve one's own interests. Well, rest assured that you will be adequately rewarded. I will give you gifts befitting your ambitions and my patronage, which you can certainly count on, while prove more valuable than any enchanted trinket you could dream of. Now, it wasn't a goblin, it was not goblin guy, but goblin-like guy. He said something about the demons turning on each other. I think this is what he was meaning. Someone's feeling generous. While we're at it, we might as well ask for immorality. Ardent like divine powers, and pockets full of sweet pies, right? Nocticula lets out a condescending sigh. I can grant you immortality as well if you think I will only reward the commander for his service. You are mistaken. I can grant every one of you whatever you desire most. You underground hunter, would you like me to rid you of the curse of short life that haunts your tribe, so that your eyes don't grow weak in 5 years and your arms remain strong? I would love that, but I'll have to pass. I don't know what price demons demand for favors like that, but I'm sure I've got nothing to pay with. I'd rather die honestly whenever my time comes than live with a debt around my neck. If you're so powerful, why do you need me? If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Discari would never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that visitors from other planes would shudder at the mention of Alashner. No, I will wage war on my own terms, in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive my blade into my enemy's back. And since Galfrey happened to send you to my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. Be glad you're wielded by skillful hands. We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. Nocticula silences Arula with a sharp gesture. I think Arula's trying to help us in this conversation. We can discuss the details later when the moment is right. Now is not the time for idle conversation. How exactly do you plan to close the world wound? She rolls her eyes. It's a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once we've captured the Threshold Fortress on Galarian. There, at the exact spot where Lady Volish opened the world wound, you will be able to close it. But first, you have to crush the Guardians of Threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Hepzibah, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nahindra crystals in my realm. These crystals are her secret weapon. No army on Galarian can stand against them. You must stop Hepzibah. If you do not, your world will fall and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transfiguration to 2 servants of Baphomet in Discourage, Xanthivang and Mutasafin. It was a well-calculated gambit which brought us time and ensured both Discourage Baphomet of my loyalty. Mutasafin is Hepzibah's favorite. He oversees the transformations of her army. Hepzibah is currently on another island far from here. The route to that place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more terrifying dangers. Have you heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that swallow airships? And when the ships reach port, the crews discover they've been gone for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you with a decent ship and experienced crew. If you kill Hepzibah, it will stop us sinking any more of my islands, but without giving Baphomet cause to declare war. So, Sela winks at you. So what do you think, Commander? Personally, I'd rather take my chances rowing to this another island far from here in a rusty bucket than make any deals with Lady in Shadow. I'll steer. Why is it so important to kill Hepzibah? No, I think we're gonna go back to, if we can, go back to the old girl in the tavern and see if we can enlist her to do it. The Scarlet Baphomet won't just stand there and watch you close the world wound. They're sending their armies after you, so you will need an army of your own, and that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Hepzibah is mining more and more Nahindra crystals to empower her forces when she attacks Galarian. If you don't stop her, the Crusaders' resistance will be crushed, and the ranks of demons pouring through the world wound into your world will multiply 100-fold. You were sent here to cut off the demons' army supply of Nahindra crystals, weren't you? Well, that's exactly what you're going to accomplish. I'll consider your offer, Lady in Shadow, and accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution and won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. glimmer of approval dances in Nocticula's eyes. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a part in events of titanic proportions. Many will give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Hepzibah visits Elishanera every now and again, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Colafara, to the northwest of my archipelago. There lies her secret fortress. In the deep mines, her slaves dig Nahedran crystals for the invading army she plans to bring to Galarian. I will give you a magnificent airship and an experienced crew to take you there. It will be a long and perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. I wish to inform you of treason. Nocticula looks quite amused. Is that so? Who is it you decided to inform on? And more importantly, how did you learn of these traitors and how credible are these accusations? Okay, we'll go down the list. Shamara is researching the Nahedran crystals in secret. Perhaps she is planning to overthrow you. A small smile appears on Nocticula's lips. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, did you really think I was unaware of this? Or did you really want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof that I can rely on you. Aspect of the ask. You were very astute to uncover Shamara's desire to dethrone me, and it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets of the 900 crystals. I suppose your caution calls for a reward. At the snap of Nocticula's fingers, one of the servants approaches you and presents you with a delicate package wrapped in gossamer-like silk. Aspect of the ask. Mining the Nahedran crystals is a surefire way to seek the island that the crystals are on, to the bottom of Ishria. I assume you understand why all you attempted to procure them on Elathera were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamara about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burying under my capital. Why do you still tolerate Shamara? Someone has to deal with tribal matters. Shamara's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite. Just as Zephyrus before, the second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. A friend of mine, the storyteller, has peered into the future. In his vision, Hepzibah was sending demons after you. The demons were strengthened by the Nahedran crystals. A hint of dangerous excitement creeps into her voice. You are a font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetite, the ambitions of that brat, or her luscious goat of a sire will bound to surface sooner or later. But your warning still encouraged me to keep a closer eye on her. You received the secret ingredient. You could have gone to Hepzibah with this and received a payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. And the helmsman of the bone ship in Alexander's port is a manifestation of Nahedran. He is looking for Nahedran's greatest treasure, whatever that is. I had my eye on that ship for a while now, and you've joined his hunt for no other reason than to tell me about it, I'm sure. Nocticula trick. Still, you've made the right choice. Keep working for that pottery of Nahedran. I'll find you when your search nears its conclusion. I've said everything I wanted to say. I killed Willowdish, your court mage. His talking shows no hint of sadness. I'm aware of this, of course. It was unlamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him implacably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. I want to ask you about the other powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants, or do you wish for me to tell you something about your enemies? What is your relationship with Arulu? Which works for me, isn't it obvious? Lady Volish is very talented. She may be the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane. And the guile she used to betray one demon lord master after another impressed me so much that I offered her the position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Volish. I plan to keep it a secret for a while longer. Lady Volish. Betrayal is it's too strong a word. I opened the path to Galarian for those two, and I told them how to exact power from the 100 crystals. That will suffice. Doesn't it bother you that Arulu serves another master? I'm not prone to jealousy. Let this guy think Lady Volish serves him still. His big brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled this guy that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Volish's loyalty is mine alone. I think Lady Volish's loyalty is to herself. Loyalty is for fools' shared interests. That is what rational minds rely upon. That and fear. No one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadow. How did Arulu become your servant? When the world wound was first opened, it only led to the Scari's realm. But then there was another more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and its paths now passed through my realm, and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Owls were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They floated my embargo, burying greedily into my rocks, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Arulu Volish. She was the one who discovered the energies of the 100 crystals. I had captured her and was about to carry out her agonizing execution when Lady Volish offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and her main task since then has been to close the world room. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and the Scry, and their slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. Do you remember the elven archmage who used to serve you thousands of years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? He was well past his youth even back then, and now? Just how old is he? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from your immortal Azalante. Say hello to him on behalf of the Lady in Shadow, and tell him that the one who replaced him has disappointed me immensely with her incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to my magnificent elf. You know, you've managed to surprise me, a rare occurrence for someone who knows just about everything. With a bit of her eyelash, Nocticula sends you a piercing gaze, one that feels like it's delving into the deepest corners of your soul. Are Baphomet and this girl your allies? The Goat and the Locust? Allies is too strong a word for our relationship. Our connection was forged by circumstances, not out of a desire to deal with each other. When the world wound opened, it tied your world to our realms. I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced to make a peace with them, so as not to get bogged down in a tired and distracted form. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms, and expanded my territories at their expense. Particularly indulges itself with a thin smile. Unfortunately, this is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with the offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. Her ensuing laughter is deep and musical, almost enchanting. Everything's clear to me now. Nothing just gives you a mysterious smile. I want to know more about you. Recounting my whole story would take longer than your brief mortal lives allow. The list of demon lords I've slain is endless on its own, and it's the number of islands under my rule. That's just the part. There's also my future. How did you become a demon lord? Bear in mind that I've always been unique ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the abyss, the perfect specimen of my race. I had been enjoying my youth, sharing it with my brother and lover, until the hungry gaze of a demon lord, Nahendra, fell upon me. That greedy tyrant saw me as a jewel to be added to his treasure hoard. He tried to abduct me. I knew I had no chance of defeating a demon lord, but in that moment I was not thinking at all. I was fighting for my freedom. When it was all over, Nahendra was just dead. I eviscerated him, and for many days afterward, blood brewed from his open carcass. First, his body turned to stone, and then his blood, which had been flowing like a stream, began to crystallize into massive purple glaciers. Now, do you see why they called Nahendran crystals? Perhaps they should be called Nocticula crystals, because the Nahendran blood crystallized, so too did my understanding of my power. Soon after, I began my campaign of conquest. I was cunning and swift, and the demon lords themselves trembled before me, knowing I could take their very lives. Only when all of the abyss spoke of my name with terror and reverence did I decide that I had killed enough. I had a realm, I had power, I no longer shared with my brother, I had servants, and most importantly, I had safety. No one has ever repeated old Nahendra's mistakes. No one has tried to make me their slave. Are the Midnight Isles really the corpse of the slain demon lords? Yes, my realm was quite literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. Ironic, isn't it? How did you turn the dead demon lords into islands? Nocticula responds with a mocking smile. Surely you don't expect me to reveal the secret to you. There's no need for mortals to learn the weakness of demon lords. All I can say is that everything started with my desire for revenge. After I dealt with Nahendra, I was furious at the thought of that vile, lecherous wretch just teleporting over to the Rift of Repose, where he could turn into stone and stay there to rot for the remainder of eternity. I want to trample his foul corpse, to keep his bloody body within my sight forever. I yearn to display my glorious trophy to all of the abyss. And that's when my power first manifested. I studied my newfound abilities and learned how to use them. Before long, I possessed not just one island, but an entire archipelago. What do you plan to do next? Subdue all of the abyss? Possibly, or perhaps I have something grander in mind. The abyss? Who cares about the abyss? Nocticula's full-throated laughter rings out with a challenge to the entire world. I have more questions. It's always nice to indulge one's curiosity. If I'm to depart for Califera, your guards must watch over my camp in the Nexus and all who are residing there. Dreadnoughts regardless. I'll send my assassins to ensure that no harm comes to your entourage. Be grateful for my patronage, mortal. Okay. So now I need to decide if I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Hepsimire. I was expecting a fight in here, but I think the Midnight Owls can continue going after we leave this place. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's go for a Hepsimire for now. Nocticula nods to herself. Arulu, you're no longer needed here. As you wish, my lady. Arulu vanishes, but you notice the look in her eyes, pensive and appraising. Hope you are well prepared. Have you brought your strongest companions? On your journey, they will be the only ones you can rely on. You will receive no reinforcements, and you will not see those you leave behind in Alethnia for a very long time. Okay? Don't dismiss the importance of preparing for this mission. When you're ready, step into this portal. It will take you to my airship. The captain and crew have already received the instructions. And good luck to you, mortal. An extraordinary adventure awaits you. Yeah, I said we was going to go get the girl from the tavern, but kind of forgot about that when I told her that we were going to do the thing. So let's go ahead and do it. Stand in front of the portal that will lead you to the airship's deck. This vessel will take you to Calafera, where you will have to fight Baphomet's merciless daughter, Hepzibah. Let's drop a quick save before we go in there. Actually, let's drop a hard save before we go in there. Excuse me. And now let's go. Oh, wait. He got upgrades. Mythical ability upgrades. Azada, okay, yeah. What is that? Okay, so we can either do damage reduction, avoidance, or extra damage with that. I think I like toughness. It's just gonna make it that much harder for us to die, hopefully. Toughness provides you twice as many hit points in addition. When you're below 0 hit points, you gain damage resistance 10 epic. But a damage resistance 10 isn't really going to matter too much for us once we get down that low, but I mean, yeah, we just do toughness. Some of the other stuff, it does sound very interesting with the armor class and whatnot. But no, we just do toughness right now. Superpowers. Okay. Let's do supersonic speed. Let's do hazard rooms. That's an animal. We just do hold animal just in case we come across something needing it. Okay. Get a whole person too. Yeah, let's do echolocate. Okay. Oh, we get two. Dang it. No, we do freedom of movement. I think, okay. Alright, let's continue down the list. Abundant casting for our cleric buddy. Four more first, second, and third levels each. Our little thief. Weapon focus mythic dagger. Nice. Witch Lady. Greater endurance spells. Okay. Okay, so yeah, she took endurance spells last time. Okay, so now she's like Woljip. No spells lasting so much longer. Vital Strike Mythic. You can strike your foes with incredible force. Nice. Point Blank Shot Mythic. Nice. Okay.
The world has suffered enough.
Got so much more. That. Give me a remove fear. Command. An array of secret. So it's just to level 3, right? Okay. Get another old person there. Get an enemy dead lesser. Another one of those, and another summon monster. I already got one of those. Let's just split this with some more animate dads and some more summon monsters. Let's give you a dispel magic. All right. We'll go ahead and go, even though I know we probably should have. It's a long, dangerous journey ahead. There's no turning back, and you will only be able to rely on yourself and your pain. Okay, let's see. No, we can come back. How long we got? We got about 30 minutes left of streaming. But we can come back here. Let's head on down to the tavern, like I said, anyway. See if we can talk to that chick. And hopefully she can get us. Side chick. And hopefully she can go ahead and get us squared away.
I'm off.
Yes. The source of nods to you affirmably. Though judging by our eyes, her thoughts are far from that. I'm glad to see you again. I need to get to Calvary. Can you take me there? The sorceress looks at you surprised. Aren't you worried about the curse hanging over me? You want to take me with you on a long and dangerous expedition anyway? You're either very brave or very careless, though it doesn't really matter which. A defiant expression appears on the sorcerer's face. You are quite capable of reaching the destination, no matter how long or dangerous the route may be. Starcatcher III never wavers in the face of a challenge. I sincerely hope you've chosen your best companions to go with you, because you won't be able to carry more than 6 people. Also, you should take care with your gear. On a long expedition, you can only count on the things you brought with you. I always bring everything with me. For 150,000 gold coins, I can take you to the island in first class style. I'm going to Calvary on a noble mission. Maybe you can offer me a discount. Have some hesitation, sources nods. I believe you. If you really need to go there on an important and noble mission, I can lower the price to 100,000. I can't ask for less for maintaining the ship and crew. It's no cheap business. Yeah, we'll get your ship and crew ready. We're heading out right away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's only pronounced. In that case, Starcatcher III and her crew are at your disposal. Ship awaits at the Morn Pillars, but you don't need to bother yourself by visiting that nasty and unpleasant place. After you're done with all your current business in Alchinura and you're ready to head off, just use this portal. It will drop you right onto the deck of the Starcatcher III. Let's do it. We are going. Step into the portal. The route marked on the map connects Alphanera and Calavara with the black line. It is straight and steadfast, just like the commander himself. Determined to catch and slay his enemy, Hepzibah, Baphomet's daughter, at all costs. Starcatcher III easily catches the air currents and slides forward. Disciplined and instilled by the grim sorceress called Mahilira. reigns over the ship. Silent and diligent sailors sweep away the tiniest signs of mess on deck with the eagerness of zealous inquisitors. The voyage is only just underway, but the commander and his crew are already facing their first challenge. Having spotted the lone ship, a flock of harpies arise from the coastal rocks. Armed with hooked talons and carnivorous grins, they rush upward, squawking. Eerie harmonies and enchanting songs fill the air. The gazes of some sailors go blank as they cast away their lines and walk unsteadily toward the ship's broadside to step into the void, whereas the sweet-voiced songstress are waiting for them. Greet the harpies with a song of his own, a true hymn of freedom and praise for the tremendous winds. The harpies react with yearning and awe at the commander's magnificent vocal harmony. The malicious magic dissipates, but the winged man-eating predators follow the ship for a while, admiring the commander's voice and seeking paeans in his honor. Okay. Now 3 days. Good God, this is a long journey. Many cultures consider malice and benevolence to be contagious diseases. In the abyss, one particular place transmits such quarrels in the air like a noxious miasma. This place is Mara Island, and the ship is flying right over it. Discord, soaring whispers fill the thoughts of every crew member. Sailors suddenly began casting hostile glances at each other, while muted by merciless brawls break out here and there with almost zero provocation. Such is the aura of Mara Island, the heart of malice and disorder, the cauldron of the affliction known as strife. Captain Melara frowns as she observes the discontented mood reigning on the deck. She retires to her cabin, and just a quarter of an hour later, the situation changes drastically. A strange, eerie apathy falls over the ship's crew. The sailors look at each other with blank eyes, unable to comprehend why they were ready to lunge for each other's throats just a few minutes ago. The uncanny apathy fades away right after Mary disappears from the horizon. Only then does Mary return to deck, looking wan and exhausted. A hurricane of enormous proportions rages toward the ship, threatening to crush the boat like an eggshell. A whirlwind rips a gaping sailor from the tackle and tears him apart in midair. The winds catch the ship and draw it to a deadly lance. The elemental embrace lasts for hours, days, or maybe months. Within the stormy darkness and the chaos of crashing, salty waves, mere moments, seem like an eternity. It feels as if the wild winds have subdued even time itself. Twisting it into a bizarre spiral, the commander can barely make out the dark shapes of the island called Elir below, offering a chance that the ship might seek refuge there. But what dangers might await the vessel on land? Would it be smarter to make a violent attempt to drive the ship through the raging elements? We'll land. Orders are landed on Elir. Fleeing from the storm that shreds the skies like a hawk gripping with patriots, the ship descends to a dense undergrowth of Elir. While this decision led to salvation or damnation, only time will tell. As a rule, death is associated with cold and desolate places that look entirely unlike the densely forested Elir, but one should not forget that in the abyss, alive means dangerous. After a night, a day, and yet another night, the hurricane finally blows itself southwest of Elir. The sky is clear and the mast no longer shudders from the wind's onslaught. Upon emerging from the hiding places, the sailors report with unpleasant surprise that the hull of the ship is tightly ensnared by vines and tree roots, which seem to have discovered and captured their prey with incredible alacrity. A quick head count reveals that several sailors have gone missing while standing watch on deck. Most probably they fell prey to the near sentient predatory plants that have made Elir notorious. That's too knowledgeable. Orders the crew to light bonfires around the ship and drive off plants. Cursing frantically, the sailors jump overboard with bundles of dry wood in their hands and quickly set bonfires around the ship and pray that the vessel won't catch fire. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking, the crew manages to build a wall of fire around the ship and not burn the vessel in the process. As they sense the fire, the plants retreat, allowing the ship to take to the air again. The outbreak of an epidemic in the close quarters of an airship is a calamity that can easily turn any vessel to a flying mortuary. Grimly cruising the airstreams, unsurprisingly, the crew is horrified when they notice the first signs of disease spreading on board. In the morning, many sailors find themselves unable to rise to their feet. The afflicted are racked by a merciless fever, and several of those most weakened by the journey have already stopped breathing. Neither spells nor mundane cures seem to help. Okay, I guess we do chaotic. Those a wild drinking party to boost morale. Having tempted the crew with the drinking party, the commander accidentally discovers a miracle cure. In the midst of the spree, the sailors gather all the booze on board and pour it into a huge barrel, where it mixes and bubbles. The resulting monstrous cocktail not only produces staggering drunkenness, but also effectively drives out the disease that has been gripping the ship. Many mages and alchemists would love to study the disinfecting properties of this elixir, but unfortunately by the next morning, the barrel has been drained dry. Goodness, how long? We're almost there. This is a long journey. Every aeronaut dreams of distant voyages, gazing upon its wonders and collecting a bounty after arriving at their destined port. But no one ever dreams of fighting harpies, monstrous storms, carnivorous plants, and invisible but deadly diseases. The crew is tired, monoculous, and craving an opportunity to unleash their anger. Brandishing their clavers, they surround the commander, not all of them, of course, but enough to pose a genuine threat. Yeah, let's do diplomacy and try to calm them down. Coming to the commander's charms, the sailors lower their blades as their anger fades away. Their dazed eyes reveal their confusion. What drew them into that bloody affair in the first place? Clifford is in sight, however, this is not the end of the expedition, not for the commander. After all, journeys end in a safe port where the fortunate survive many other wounds. Quench their thirst and drink away their loot. Calafri promises nothing of the sort. It is all grim rocks, gloomy caves, and the horrible creatures lurking within. One such creature notices the ship and takes flight. The beast is an umbral dragon, its scarlet eyes sparkling rapidly, its jaws opening hungrily, and the airship seems a convenient snack for this monster. The commander Drop 7 tries to land the ship as soon as possible. Dang it, we failed. We needed a 16. Despite the impenetrable darkness of the night, the crew spots the sharp fangs of the rocks capable of ripping through the ship's hull during landing. Searching for a suitable flat patch takes much longer than expected, allowing the monster to fall upon the ship before it has time to land. What happens on the deck after that cannot be called a fight. It was a massacre. The sailors' weapons bounce off the dragon's scales, but its sickle-shaped claws slice through their bodies with ease. The beast tosses the bleeding and screaming chunks of meat into the air, swallowing them with a disgusting purr of satisfaction. Finally, the monster sates its hunger and leaves the battered ship alone. Sounds of battle carried all over Calafri, alerting anyone curious that visitors have arrived on the island. Finally, the ship touches the ground. Commander sets foot on the rocky soils of Calafia, Heptamar's lair. Hey, the Moo Gang, how you doing, man? Hope everything's been going good with you, man. It's been a little bit since I seen you up and around. Okay, so we still got some sailors here with us. Oh, wait. That wasn't highlighted to say that it was. What happened, man? The Moo Gang, what happened? I think I'm gonna have to go back before we left because I've been trying to do all the side content on the way up. And usually it has this little hourglass saying that that's the last time you can do it in that sector. This one didn't have that, but now that we came here, it's saying we failed. So yeah, we're gonna go back to before that one. Something good happened to Moo Gang? We need to find this den of what it say? Yeah, we're not. Gotta find. Den of Sweet Horror. Oh, that sucks. That truly sucks. How long was it leaking on it? Yeah, how long was it leaking on it? Was it just like something that you just noticed in the morning, like probably an hour at most? Okay, if it wasn't on, I'll probably give it like a day or two to dry out and then try to see if you can turn it on. But yeah, because you don't want any of those circuits and stuff really getting wet. Have you? I'm assuming you've already tried turning it on though, huh? Yeah. Yeah, snowstorms can do that. Go to flesh market area and figure out where we can find this. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, don't. If I was you, I wouldn't turn it on. I'll go ahead and unplug it. And if you had like a hair dryer or something, you could probably try to force some air through the vents and try to dry it off. But you don't like if you have a hair dryer, you don't want it heated, hot air. You don't want to add hot air. You just want just some constant air blowing across it. And I'll probably give it a day or so to dry out before I try to turn it on and do anything. But that's me, what I would do. Um, where is this place? Then Sweet Horror. Yeah, but I know that sucks, man. Feel for you. Feeling like your console or something just all of a sudden just died out on you. I know that sucks. Yeah, because I remember having was it 360? Was it just I think it was a 360. We had Xbox and stuff when we were staying in Japan, and I thought my kids they kept leaving it on overnight and just because they wouldn't turn it off properly, and so it started having the heat issue, which it was widely known for, was the heat issues that they kept getting, and I kept getting red ring of death on it, but I did end up opening it up and whatnot. I forgot what I did, but basically I was trying to follow some instructions on the YouTube to get rid of the red ring of death, and it worked for a few years later, till finally we ended up getting rid of it. I don't know where this place is. Talk to the inhabitants of the Den of Sweet Horror. Okay, it's not showing up on the maps. I'm gonna do a quick look because Okay, it looks like I gotta go exploring in the 10,000 delights. Okay, I'll check Discord when I get off of this. Okay. Den of Sweet Horror. Okay, so you can't get to these other places. Dang it.
I'm curious.
I don't know. I don't know how to get there. It's saying I just did a quick search and it mentioned something about 10,000 delights, so I figured. But obviously I'm wrong because nothing is happening. Okay. got a lot of bulk selling to do. I'm gonna have to research and figure out where to find this. This other place. Okay. Sell all that for now. Alright. Okay, yeah, you got Game Pass, so you covered there at least for a little while till you can get everything situated. But I am about to be off. It's been my 2-hour mark. Like I said, I'm gonna have to figure out where on earth is this den at, so that we can get this last little mission done, and then we can press on with the rest of the missions. But anyways, thank everybody for coming through and spending time with me. And as always, I would like for everybody to please ensure that you take the time to enjoy your day, enjoy your night, and enjoy life, because it's too short not to. Peace. In the Moon Gang, I'll take a look at Discord in just a second.